Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blame It on the Stars, where we give you an inside look at what's going on in the universe so you can blame your problems on the stars. It is Jade here.
And it's Kara.
And this week, Libra season begins. We're going to give you an overview of everything that happens so you know what you're getting into up front. But in case you missed it, last week, Venus entered Virgo. We had the solar eclipse in Virgo. And also Mars entered Scorpio. Technically, Mars enters Scorpio the same day that Libra season begins, but a few hours beforehand. So if you want to know more about that, then definitely check out last week's episode before diving into this one.
And just to give you a heads up, next week, we will tell you everything that you need to know about Mercury in Scorpio and the full moon in Aries.
And with that being said, since this week the sun enters Libra, we'll explain that more in depth now. But everything else that's to come, such as Mercury in Scorpio, the full moon in Aries, new moon in Libra, Venus in Libra, Pluto stationing direct, Neptune retrograding into Pisces, will all have their own episodes in the weeks to come. And with all of that being said, let's dive into the episode. So Libra season begins, aka the autumnal equinox, on September 22nd at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when the sun enters Libra. And per usual, the date and time are from the website astroseek.com. How this affects you. When the sun enters Libra, your focus will start to shift towards your relationships in your life and finding more balance and harmony. So during Libra season, you may feel a stronger desire to connect with others, but also at the same time, you might be seeking out more fairness and diplomacy in both your personal and your professional interactions.
What you can expect. During Libra season, you're going to be feeling very creative and collaborative. This is a good time to work with others, whether that's at work or even in your own personal life. Creativity and self-expression is going to be highlighted, and also it's going to be a good time to negotiate and find compromise.
And there are a few key dates you're going to want to pay attention to. These are the aspects that the sun will make as it moves through Libra. Starting off on September 23rd, the sun will be opposite Neptune and also trine Uranus on the same day. So this can be a day where there are moments of insight, but you might also feel a bit confused or unclear about some of the insights that are coming in. Some relationships or projects might feel a little bit unclear, but there can still be moments of intuition or inspiration that can guide you forward out of the fogginess.
And then on September 24th, the sun will be trine Pluto. This is a very empowering energy. It's going to bring a lot of focus and motivation, especially when it comes to your relationships and the way that you express yourself. It's a day to focus on your creative projects or get closer to the people that you care about.
And then lastly, on October 17th, the sun will square Jupiter. So be mindful of overcommitting to certain things around this time or overdoing certain things, because optimism can be high, but it's really important that you just watch for overextending yourself and taking on more than you can realistically manage. Now, everything else that we're about to mention does still happen during Libra season. We'll tell you a bit about it now, but they will all have their own episodes as we get closer. Starting off with Mercury entering Scorpio on October 6th. This will happen at 12:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what you need to know is that Mercury in Scorpio will bring a very intense focus when it comes to your conversations. You might feel more likely to do some type of research or investigate things and really discover the true meaning of a certain topic or a conversation. And in general, you'll notice conversations and decisions will carry a little bit more emotional weight since Scorpio is a water sign.
Something you should know is that Mercury will be square Pluto and conjunct Mars. Mercury in Scorpio is already a very intense energy. So, with the square to Pluto and an aspect to Mars, it's really going to enhance the already very strong and intense energy. This can definitely bring up a lot of feelings and intensity in your conversations. However, it does create an opportunity to think a little bit more clearly or to really dive into the things going on, which can allow you to have very productive communication, even if it is a little bit intense.
Speaking of intense, on the same day that Mercury enters Scorpio, there's also a full moon in the sign of Aries. This is October 6th, but it will be happening at 11:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And how this affects you is the full moon will illuminate needing to seek out balance in between your desire to take action and assert yourself, but also while balancing out your relationships. During this full moon, though, you can expect to want to take more initiative or assert your independence.
What you need to know is that this full moon will be square Jupiter, which can enhance the Aries confident and independent energy. If you're someone that is already really busy, this full moon in Aries could help you let go of things that aren't aligned with you so that you can create more space and energy for the things that you feel passionate about.
The next thing happening during Libra season is Venus entering Libra. This is on October 13th at 5:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what you can expect is with Venus in its home sign that there is a stronger desire in your life for connecting with others. And there might be a stronger desire to connect with the arts and anything that feels aesthetically enjoyable to you. This is a really strong transit for relationships and artistic expression.
Something you might not know is that Venus will be opposite Neptune and square Jupiter, which can blur boundaries, whether that's in your relationships, finances, or just the way you see others and the world around you. It can be really easy to give too much energy or overspend. So it's really important to stay grounded and connected to yourself and your values so that you're able to fill your own cup before filling others.
The same day that Venus enters Libra, Pluto will station direct in Aquarius, meaning Pluto retrograde is over. This is October 13th, but this will be happening at 10:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what you need to know is that Pluto's direct motion is going to really restore that momentum that we were having as a collective when it comes to transformation within technology, social systems, and just the collective power. Since Pluto can deal with secrecy, with the direct motion happening, certain things that might have been hidden during the retrograde might start to come to light so that you can resolve them.
How this affects you. On a more personal level, you might notice that some of the changes you've either been putting off or places where you felt stuck, it's easier to make progress in those areas of your life. You also might feel like all of the things that you were reflecting on or things that were on pause during the retrograde period are now ready to move forward, and you might experience some progress.
The next thing happening during Libra season is the new moon in Libra. This is on October 21st at 8:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And something you should know is that new moons are new beginnings, and the new moon in Libra will be all about having a fresh start in your relationships, your partnerships, and just for finding balance in your life overall. It's a really good time to be setting intentions around harmony and collaboration.
What you can expect with this new moon, it will be square Jupiter and Pluto, which can bring about some tension and intensity. Your intentions for this new moon might be a little bit more focused on finding balance and trusting the process. Because Jupiter is a very expansive energy, be mindful not to take on too much and set boundaries around where you spend your energy.
And we end Libra season with Neptune retrograding back into Pisces. This will be on October 22nd at 5:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And how this will affect you is with Neptune returning back to Pisces, there is more of a desire to reflect and to be creative. There can be some spiritual insight coming back to you, but also at the same time, if there was certain areas of your life that felt confusing before, those areas of your life may start to resurface again so that you can find clarity.
Something you might not know is that Neptune retrograde can draw your attention to things going on within yourself or in your relationships. This is a good time to be honest with yourself and use this as a time to align your choices with your values.
And that is it for this week's episode. Just a reminder, next week we'll be talking more about Mercury in Scorpio and the full moon in Aries and how all of that will impact you. So if you want to know more about that, then definitely make sure wherever you're listening to the podcast, you're subscribed with the notifications turned on so you don't miss when we post next week. But until then, that is all for now. And we'll see you all next Monday. Bye.